Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for the 31st of August 2021. Today was transfer deadline day, 11 p.m. The window is shut. It's shut. And it really did last until 11 p.m. for Millwall because two of our deals took place literally 3 or 4 minutes while they were announced. 3 or 4 minutes before 11 p.m, which is one of the reasons why this video is so late, because I had to stay up and then had to do a bit of research on this geezer we've signed, because we did sign someone, attacking midfielder. We did sign them. Now, who did we sign? We signed this chap here, Sheyi Ojo. He is a British Nigerian who is currently contracted to Liverpool FC, but has not played many games for them. And he plays kind of on the right wing, maybe like outside right. Yeah, so let's get into it. So this is from a website called thisisanfield.com. I think it's a Liverpool fan site, news site, type of thing. And they say Sheyi Ojo makes 7th loan move as Liverpool failed to land $5 million price tag. So there's a lot to unpack in a headline. First of all, yeah, he's got nearly as many clubs as Tiger Woods, and he seems he's a hot young prospect who is kind of faded into grey. Hasn't really made it. He's still a very good footballer, very good professional footballer. He hasn't totally dropped out of the league. He's kept going, kept trying. He was on loan at Cardiff last season. Did well for them. He had his best season yet for Cardiff last season, which I'm going to show you in the stats shortly. But yeah, it seems he's got to be. He's 24. He's 25 next summer. And it seems he's at the end of the road for his Liverpool career. So let's have a read of this. Liverpool winger Sheyi Ojo has departed on loan for the 7th time in his 10 years with the club, despite a sale being preferred. So they didn't want him. They wanted to sell him. But they have a valuation of him which was not met by the clubs who showed an interest. Ojo joined the Reds as a teenager in 2011, becoming the most expensive 14-year-old in football upon his $2 million switch from MK Dons and showcasing great potential during his academy run. He looks set for first-team breakthrough as he made 11 appearances under Jurgen Klopp in the Germans' first season at Anfield, but a series of loan moves were to follow. And some of those appearances for Liverpool were in the Premier League. And some of them were starts. He did start a game against Stoke, I saw, where they won 4-1. He did start. He come off in the 50-something minute. So not just in the FA Cup, not just in the Carling Cup. He played in the Premier League. So the winger took in spells with Wigan, Wolves, Fulham, Stade de Reims, Rangers, and finally Cardiff, falling out of the picture at Liverpool, playing only twice more in 2017. With writing on the wall, as he was omitted from the first team squad for pre-season this summer, Ojo instead trained with the under-23s and featured in 2 of the opening 3 games of the campaign, scoring against Everton. So he's 24 years old, but he's playing him in the under-23s. So yeah, not good. Seems they don't want him around, but they're not willing to let him go for not very much. Now he is headed on another loan, joining Millwall in the Championship. The move should provide Ojo with a platform to establish himself as a first-team regular, and with a year left on his contract, hopefully earn a permanent switch in 2022. So that's another thing. He's in the last. Let's read the next line. Liverpool have the option to extend his deal by a further year, which could still allow them to cash in next summer. which would be a little bit scummy, to be honest with you. If you don't want him, you're gonna extend his contract, even though you really don't want him. You tried to sell him this season, just so you can sell him next season. So you extend his contract and then you immediately sell him. That would be a little bit scummy, to be honest with you. Like, literally, I imagine all these loans, you're getting loan fees and whatnot. So, I mean, you paid 2 million for him. When he was a kid, and now you want 5 million for him. So, yeah. So this could be his last year of contract unless Liverpool extend it. So I'm sure he would want to play and want to play well for the team that he does sign for, which I doubt will be Millwall. Let's be realistic, I doubt it's going to be Millwall. So he can perform well for Millwall, and he can go and sign for a better team, and then we can point to him and say, he played for Millwall when he wins the World Cup for Nigeria or something like that. That's another thing. I don't. Okay, I'll get to that later. But having set a 5 million price tag this time around amid interest from Belgium, Greece, and Germany, this development can only be seen as a letdown. For the player, it continues to cloud his future with uncertainty, far from what he would have hoped 10 years ago when he joined. Indeed. The Peter Pan footballers, they never grow up. They never actually become proper footballers. Always attached to a parent club who just loans them out until they're nearly 30 years old, and where's their career gone? It's been a series of loans, but this could be the reason why it was so late. They were trying to sell him, and when they realised, these clubs ain't gonna pay the money that we want for him, so let's loan him out. And I imagine that's what happened. That's why it was so late. Literally 10:55. It was announced on Mill's Twitter with a video and whatnot and all that stuff. Not with him, just from clips of him, but. So they were trying to sell him, and they couldn't sell him. Sorry for that. So we got him on loan, and now he's got a chance to impress. So he can, presumably, when Liverpool stitch him up and extend his deal next year, they can try and sell him for the money they want next season. But there you go. So who is this geezer? Who is he? So here's his Wikipedia. Sheyi Ojo. Olaofe Babajide Ojo, born on the 19th of June 1997. So yeah, 24 years old, 25 next June. 5'10" winger. Number 54. So that tells you all you need to know. His squad number at Liverpool is 54. They really don't like this geezer, do they? So club career, he was at MK Dons Academy when he's 10 years old. By the time he was 13, he was playing the under 18s, training with the first team squad. During his time at the club, he was the first MK Dons player to be capped at youth level. And if you look on the right hand side here, let's have a little look. See here, he has played for the England team under 16, under 17, under 18, under 19, under 20, and under 21. And the only thing he's won in his career was, let's scroll down, FIFA Under 20 World Cup in 2017. He was involved in that team here. Ojo was selected for the England Under 20 team in the 2017 FIFA Under 20 World Cup. He started against Guinea, was a substitute in other games, including the semi-final against Italy, which he assisted 2 of the goals. In the final, Ojo came on as a substitute for Kieran Dow. England beat Venezuela 1-0, which is England's first win in a global tournament since their World Cup victory of 1966. I'm pretty sure, I probably did watch that on Eurosport, because I remember that was a really big, a minorly big thing at the time. But so he's He's aged out of the England under teams, age restricted teams, and it doesn't look like he's going to be facing England being called up for the England team anytime soon. So that means he could switch to Nigeria, and I don't know if that's going to be a problem because the African Nations Cup is due to take place this year, I believe. I don't think it's. I'm not sure. It's usually held in January, so if they call him up, we have to let him go. And unless we're playing other teams with, unless we play a team that's also got 3 African players who are missing, we can't call the game off. The game cannot be called off unless 3 players from one team. Is it 3 from one team or 3 from both teams are away on international duty? So there's quite a few games in League One this week are being postponed because of international call-ups, which is, it's quite shocking to see that there's so many internationals in that league. But there you go. Yeah, so here you go. So I won't get too much into this because I'm going to do a bit more, which, like I said, he was on loan. So he's had his most abundant season and most fruitious season last season playing for Cardiff. And this is Cardiff's squad stats from last season, and he is here. So, attacking midfield, left or right. So you can play left wing, right wing, it seems. So this is what he did last season for Cardiff. 25 starts. The first 2 things are just height and weight. I don't know how they know that. It's just making it up. This one here. The next one, 25 starts, 16 substitute appearances. 2,361 minutes on the pitch, 5 goals, 7 assists, and 5 yellow cards. 0.9, whatever that is. Shots per game, passing accuracy. So passing accuracy quite high, 80.8. So that suggests, for someone who's played a lot of games, 25 starts, that is quite high. You can see none of the other good players who are really that high. Really, or there is a Mahlon 79, but he's a defender. Defenders, they usually pass it between themselves, but for an attacking player to have such a high passing accuracy, that suggests he's not much of a crosser. He's doing short balls and whatnot, or he very rarely passes the ball. He's a dribbler, and he only passes it when he doesn't take any risky passes to that kind of thing. So that is quite high there. So aerials 1, not much one in the air, doesn't really do that thing. And the one is man of the match. So he got man of the match from this website, not from Cardiff. So he got 1, but you can see Kiefer Moore got 12, Sean Morrison 3, and Harry Wilson 3. So yeah, so it seems he did a job at Cardiff last season in this league that we're in. They pretty sure they did make the playoffs, didn't they? Or did they just miss out? I think they just missed out at the end of the season. Yeah, they just missed out. So there you go. I'm going to show you now over the career. So he's played in the Europa League for Rangers when he was on loan for them. He did that. So this is his career here. So you can see. Last season, Cardiff, 5 goals, 7 assists. Best so far. Absolutely bang on. And before that, he's playing for Fulham in the Championship in 2017-18. He started 18 times. Subbed 4, got 4 goals, 2 assists, 3 yellow cards. And before that, A long time ago now. Coming up to what would that be? 7 years ago? Is that 7 years ago? 6 or 7 years ago. For Wolves, 2015-16. 5 starts, 12 substitute appearances. Only 543 minutes on the pitch in the Championship. 2 goals, 3 assists, 3 yellow cards, and a passing accuracy of 83.1, which for someone who didn't play a lot of games is and come off the bench a lot, that's to be expected. But you can see he's getting better in this league over time. He's also played in this league for Wigan, so he's proven himself in the Championship, to be sure. At the upper end of the Championship, Cardiff finished above us last season, so this is a good player we're getting here for this league. But where's he going to play? Where will he play? Is he defensively enough minded to play right wing back? Probably not. So what does that mean we'll do then? Will we play a thing called, I think they call floating fullbacks? So when, say if Scott Malone goes forward, the other players shift over to cover. So we play 3 at the back, but we play 4 at the back, but 1 will go forward, and then the other 3 shift over to fill the gap. Because if someone plays the long ball down the other side where the gap would be on the right, because everyone shifted over, it's going to be in the air, they're going to have time to run over, but you don't want a gap where the players just left the gap. So, and they do that on the other side as well. So there's going to be a lot of moving around. Maybe Kieftenbeld could drop, or maybe we'll just switch to a straight 4-4-2, and the geezer plays as a right winger. Maybe you play 4-3-3 or 3-4-1-2. I don't know. But we will see. I mean, I imagine he's going to play, because I imagine he wants to play to put himself in the shop window so he can get a deal with a decent club. But the fact that he was available for 5 million and so he hasn't been loaned out to another Premier League club now. Why didn't the Premier League club want to take him on loan? Did Liverpool not want to loan him to a Premier League team? Was there no interest? Did they not rate him? And even if you're going to sign him like for 5 million, Premier League teams are just throwing money left and right willy nilly. They don't want to take a chance on this guy. Seems he may not be Premier League quality, but we don't need Premier League quality. We need decent Championship quality. So we'll see how he goes. I imagine he's going to come in. He's going to have a week to train, and I would imagine that we get told, because Rowett loves his fitness. He loves his fitness. So if this, to be honest, most wingers, they seem a bit lackadaisical. They're a bit lazy. If this guy comes in and he doesn't train well, I imagine Rowett knows he's going to be immediately put out of joint, and he's going to keep him on the bench and bring him off and say, well, if you want to start, you need to be more fit, you need to do more in training and all that kind of bullshit. So we'll see how that goes. We do have the international break. So he isn't going anywhere for that, so I imagine he'll come in and train at Millwall, and he should have 2 weeks to get close to it and some kind of fitness. And let's hope he doesn't get injured. He seems to have a decent enough injury record, it appears, although he hasn't really played that much. So I imagine if you don't play, then your percentage odds of getting injured are lower. And I imagine if you got pace as well, you can run away from problems, run away from tackles and whatnot. So let's have a quick look through. What's happening here? Is it not loading? Did it load? Oh no, it did load. I just blinked and missed it. So this is defensively, so he's not really tackling much. Interceptions, yeah, not really. Foul. So it doesn't seem he can play right wing back because these tackling stats are not all that, to be honest with you. But maybe Rowett will put him there and get Kifton Bell to help him out, get Ballard to help him out. Just drop Kifton Bell back and tell him to, every time this guy runs forward, Kifton Bell, you fill in the gap and do that. So maybe that's one way they could play it, because like I was saying the other day, like if we get an attacking player, where's he going to go? Who's going to get dropped? You're going to drop Saville? He hasn't been playing that well. Maybe. Don't know. But there was one obvious position to strengthen, which is right wing back. And as good as Danny McNamara has been, he's not the best in the league. There is, if you want to improve in any spot in a team, it will probably be that. And then, to be honest with you, next it will probably be goalkeeper. As good as Biakowski's been, and then it would probably be striker, to be honest with you. But they're hard to find, and the ones you do find are bloody expensive. So, three obvious positions: right wing back, goalkeeper, and striker. Position to improve. So offense for Ojo. Is it loading? Is my Wi-Fi down? No. Yeah. So shots per game, not a lot. He did a lot of Fulham. I think they may have been playing him more attacking. We know they like to attack more. They the way they tore us apart a couple of weeks ago. They did that a couple of seasons ago as well. They've been a fast counter-attacking team for a while now. So no surprise that he would play quite well for them. Key passes per game, dribbles per game. So less dribbling, it seems. So okay, fouled. How many fouls he draws? Draws a lot of fouls there. Offsides, doesn't really get offside. Dispossessed and unscheduled touches, so that's probably quite high. Poor ball control. That will not be like down at then. Passing, so assists we've got, as we've seen. Key passes per game, average passes per game. Not a lot going on there. 13 last season, 10 for Rangers. Again, 15 for Fulham. He's playing more attacking for Fulham. Pass accuracy for Cardiff quite high. It was high for Fulham. High. I think it's always been quite high. High for Liverpool. So crosses. So this is the thing. He's a winger, but he doesn't put a lot of crosses in. So and not a lot of long balls. Only 0.3 crosses per game, which suggests he's not really gonna be the solution to whipping crosses to Matt Smith or Benekafobe. He's going to be the one to play it on the floor. So we'll see how that goes. Detailed, yeah, no, let's drop that. So you've seen that, I've shown you that. So last season was arguably his best season overall. He was more attacking at Fulham, but he didn't put the numbers up. He put similar numbers to what he did last season, but last season a lot more assists. A lot more assists. Yeah, so it seems there's a player there. There is a championship player there. Will he improve Millwall? Depends where he plays. Depends where Rowett pays him. Depends in the formation he plays. I don't think he's going to be able to play to turn our season around. I think there's a lot more going on that needs to be done before that can happen. So that's Sheyi Ojo, signed for Millwall. Deadline day, rightly deaf. You probably were in bed by the time it happened. If you didn't, if you weren't, then you're as mad as me. And something else that happened. There was a transfer that happened that was announced after we signed Sheyi Ojo. It was a player leaving, but it had been rumoured for a while. I brought you the rumours a couple of days ago in the video, and it's Mahlon Romeo. Mahlon Romeo has left the building, and this is from millwallfc.co.uk, and this was announced so 1 hour ago. I'm filming this at 12:51. So yeah, late. This was announced. The right back heads for the South Coast. Millwall's Mahlon Romeo has joined Sky Bet League One side Portsmouth on loan until the end of the 21-22 season. The 25-year-old, who has made 221 appearances for the Lions since signing from Gillingham in 2015, will join up with Danny Cowley's side for the remainder of the campaign and will renew friendships with former Lions such as Sean Williams and Ryan Tunnicliffe. Yeah, Portsmouth are becoming Millwall reserves, aren't they? What's up with that? And there's 980 people have watched this. So 980 people stayed up to see what happened to Millwall transfers. The crazy bastards. But yet again, 25 years old, similar to Ojo, same age. You get to this age, you're kind of set. You were a prospect, you were improving, you were getting better, you were getting better every season, and then you hit a wall. And then they realise, Liverpool realise Ojo's not going to cut in the Premiership. We probably realised Mahlon Romeo's probably not going to cut it in the Championship. It's probably why he's gone to a League One side. He's gone to be probably a big fish in a smaller pond, that kind of thing. Romeo burst onto the scene in the Millwall shirt on his debut at Walsall in February 2016, netting a goal in a 3-0 win at the Bescott Stadium, and went on to become an integral part of the 2016-17 League One playoff winning side, making 40 appearances as the club gained promotion to the Sky Bet Championship. Also starring in Millwall's run to the Emirates FA Cup quarter-finals in 2018-19, Romeo will now play his football at Fratton Park until May 2022. All the best, Mahlon. And yeah, good luck to him. 221 appearances, that's quite some record. He did alright in League One. He did very well in League One. He did okay in the Championship. And he's just faded away a bit. It's just time to move on for both us and him, and good luck to him. And Ben Thompson not going to Portsmouth, so Portsmouth did sign another Millwall player. It wasn't Ben Thompson, it was Mahlon Romeo. So let's have a read of this, what they say. They got quotes. This is londonnewsonline.co.uk. They got some quotes. It looked impossible. Portsmouth boss delighted at landing Millwall defender Mahlon Romeo. Mahlon Romeo signed for Portsmouth on the season-long loan, with Danny Cowley admitting a deal for the Millwall defender looked impossible at the weekend. The 25-year-old right-back has made 198 appearances and scored 3 goals for the Lions during a 6-year spell at the Den. Pompey manager Cowley said it's a deal that we thought was impossible at the weekend, and we have to thank Millwall and Mahlon for making it happen. He's a boy who will bring us a great deal of athleticism, and he's versatile with the ability to play on either side of the pitch. Mahlon is also incredibly dynamic, and I think that our supporters will love his all-action displays. It's a brilliant signing for us. He's another player who's not just played in the Championship, but also thrived at that level for a sustained period. Romeo added, this is what Romeo said, "I'm delighted to be here and looking forward to playing football in front of such brilliant support. I can't put into words how excited I am." Indeed. So there you go. The chapter on is that the end? I assume it is. I don't know if his contract's up at the summer. That may be the end of Mahlon Romeo Millwall, but good luck to him. And more players were leaving. So we got confirmation. I told you about this the other day, maybe yesterday. I'm struggling to remember the days and what I spoke about. Millwall defender completes move to Leyton Orient as Kenny Jackett welcomes new addition. This is from news@den.co.uk. Alex Mitchell welcomed the brilliant opportunity to progress his career in the Football League after his season-long loan to Leyton Orient was confirmed on transfer deadline day. Mitchell, 19, links up with former Millwall boss Kenny Jackett in League 2. Centre-back Mitchell played 10 games on loan at Bromley last season, helping them into National League playoffs. It's a brilliant opportunity for me to play in the Football League and to join Orient in a massive club, he told their website. It's also a big manager who I'll be working under, so I'm absolutely buzzing for this opportunity. Mitchell, who is 6'3" and powerfully built, also revealed some of his nicknames. He said, "I got called Robot the other week. I also got Meathead. It's funny, but look, I like to defend. I might be old-fashioned in that way, but defending is my primary objective." Beep bop, beep bop bop. Jackett added, "We did inquire earlier in the window for him. He was held back, covering and playing in a very strong Millwall side. Now they have players available and can release him, and we're delighted he has chosen us." Do we have players available? Because Rao said they might have to sign a defender because we've got so many defenders injured now. But then he's going to loan out a defender. Yeah, I'm not going to go over that again. I've already had a moan up about that. But there you go. So another loan player. We got half a team's worth of players out on loan now because we've loaned another one. And yes, it has come. It happened. Even though don't think he's back yet, he's still recovering from a groin injury. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Sutton returned for Millwall's Olaofe. Season-long loan for Tanto. Millwall forward Isaac Olaofe has rejoined Sutton United on loan until the end of the season. The 21-year-old played a key role in Sutton's promotion to the EFL last season, backing himself an impressive 16 goals in all competitions and making 44 appearances. A product and graduate of the Lions Academy, Olaofe has also previously spent time on loan in Scotland with St Johnstone before his first spell with the Yellows last term. The Lewisham-born forward will be hoping to impress further for Sutton in 21-22, but this time in the EFL. Good luck, Tants. Yes, Sutton United are bottom of the League 2 table with only 2 points. Let's hope he goes there and he plays well, and he will prove himself to be a League 2 striker, which is what Tyler Burry's doing, because he scored like 3 goals in 4 games or so. So let's hope Olaofe can do the same, although I don't think Sutton have the squad that Hartlepool do, so might be a bit of a struggle for him, but we'll see how he gets on. And just to note, both Alex Mitchell and Isaac Olaofe have recall options in their contracts. Even though it's a season-long loan until the end of the season, they can be recalled in January if we need them or if they're not happy. But I believe the rules say you can only play for 2. You can only be registered and play for 2 teams in a calendar year. Alex Mitchell's already played for Millwall. He came on the League Cup against Cambridge, so he's played for Millwall. If he plays for Leyton Orient, that will be his second team in the calendar year. So he can't be recalled and then loaned out again, I believe, unless it's to Leyton Orient again. He can go back to them, and yeah. But Isaac Olaofe has not been playing for anyone, not for us, for anyone, because he's been injured. So, and I don't know how long he'll take before he actually starts playing for Sutton, because we haven't had confirmation that he's recovered from his injury yet. So, who knows about that? So, that's it. So, just to recap, Sheyi Ojo comes in, and then we have Mahlon Romeo going out. Alex Mitchell going out, and Isaac Olaofe going out on loan. So 1 in, 3 out. Bod's still here. Ben Thompson's still here. Jed Wallace is still here. That's good news, isn't it? That's amazing news. For now, maybe he'll leave in the summer on a free transfer, and we won't get a fucking bean for him. But at least he's not gone now. I think if he went now, it'd be almost certain that we're in for a relegation dogfight. So We're going to end today's video with this little story that I saw. This is from a stadium called thestadiumbusiness.com, and it's a website about stadiums. And it is the government set to lift standing ban in Premier League and Championship. So since the Hillsborough disaster, a number of laws were passed after that happened about stadiums in the top two leagues had to be all-seater. And I think the first stadium to actually be finished after the Hillsborough started to be built and finished is actually the new Den, or the Den. The one that we go and watch our beloved Millwall play in was the first all-seater stadium to be built after the Hillsborough tragedy, or whatever you want to call it. And it now seems that we've had the inquiry. I think it was last year or the year before, the inquest or whatever it's called, and they pinned the blame firmly on the police. It would seem they put everything on the police. They didn't blame the Liverpool fans or the facilities at Hillsborough. They blamed the police and the commanders in charge. So with that, they've said basically, well, it wasn't the standing situation in the ground that was to blame, so let's bring standing back, because a lot of people want it back. But as you can see, this picture here is from Old Trafford. Even though they want to do this is what they call safe standing. And what you can see here is you've got seats, but there's rails in front of it. So if you want to stand up, you can stand up. I think that's not the standing that we know from back in the day. I mean, I imagine loads of you are watching this are probably too young to remember. But in standing, basically, if you've ever been to a non-league game, if you've been to Dully Jamlet or Fisher, or not the new Fisher, probably, no, maybe, but because that's all on one level though. They don't really have steps. But Dully Jamlet do have steps down the back and the sides. So if you've ever been to like a non-league ground, Bromley have steps on the side, a lot of steps. So that's what the standing was like back in the day, just concrete steps, and there were like big metal bars along the front of each step, and you stood there and you could move around, walk around if there was space. Probably during as the match was going on, it was kind of crammed in. You couldn't really move that much, and you wouldn't want to anyway because you're watching the game. Yeah, and all the kids were at the front, because if they were at the back, they couldn't bloody see anything. All the kids were down the front, where there's like a little passageway to move around, and they would run up and down and do shit like that. And that's how it was back in the day at Millwall, at the Den, at the old Den. The old Den was literally like a bigger version of Bromley or Dully Jamlet. And you would have the concrete steps, and you would have the yellow poles, blue poles, some places, and you could literally, even though you were contained to stands, you could walk around the stand, and just move from area to area. And yeah, but what they're doing here now is not that at all. It's basically as it is now, but there's a railing in your way, probably affecting your vision. I mean, depending on the seat that you're in or how tall you are. And you stand up in a seat, taking up half, like digging into your back legs, so you can't really move around anyway. You still have to like lean back to let someone walk past you. I think this is it's not really what it was, and it's not going to be what it was. So what's the point? I don't really understand the point of this. I mean, if people want to stand up now, I don't know why they don't do it. Just go to the back of the stand. Go to the top of the stand. Stand up. Stand at the back of the stand. They're still called stands, even though people are sitting. But just go to the back and stand at the back. But I don't know why people were reluctant to do that. They don't want to do that. They just stand up in the seats in the middle of the stand, and they block the view of the people behind them. And they're still going to have seats, so if the game's shit and you're not excited, you're going to sit down. You sit down at half time because you need a break from standing up. I mean, it's all a bit weird, to be honest with you. So let's have a read of it. The UK government is reportedly set to lift the ban on standing at stadiums in the top 2 divisions of English football. The BBC has reported that a handful of grounds will be operating safe standing areas before the end of the current season, with an official government announcement expected in September, which is right now. It's 1st of September by the time you're watching this. Standing at Premier League and Championship Stadium has been outlawed in England and Wales since 1994, when grounds were required to become all-seater. It came in the wake of the 1989 Hillsborough disaster, which led to the death of 97 Liverpool fans. In recent years, there have been increasing calls for safe standing to be introduced in the Premier League and Championship, with a number of clubs recently fitting rail seating areas at their stadiums in readiness for any change in the law. Earlier this month, Liverpool announced that the first rail seats have been installed at Anfield's Cop End as part of the club's season-long trial of the new seating option. The club announced in June that it will be introducing rail seating, but maintained that the move should not be interpreted as creating safe standing areas. Chelsea has also fitted rail seating at Stamford Bridge, while Manchester United has done so at Old Trafford, and Manchester City has similar plans for the Etihad Stadium. Notable that they're all Premier League teams flush with cash who can do this, because back in the day, standing areas were cheap as chips. There were seats at the Den, but that was where you paid more to sit, and standing was cheap. And so, but now, if they're going to do this, they're going to put this in. It's going to cost them money. That's why notably as well, that they're all top end Premier League teams that are in Europe, who are doing this now. So it's going to cost them more to put all the rails in. The seats are still going to be there. They can't put any more people in. It's one person, one seat. Can't be putting any extra people in. Malcolm Clark, chairman of the Football Supporters Association, told the BBC that lifting the ban on standing will benefit all fans, adding, "People who want to stand should be able to do so in safety. Those who want to sit should be able to do so without having their view blocked." The ban on standing only applies to England and Wales, with Scotland Premiership club Celtic having operated a 3,000 capacity safe stand section at Celtic Park since 2016. Safe standing is also in place at a number of German Bundesliga clubs. The Sports Ground Safety Authority will reportedly be instructed by the government which clubs to choose as early adopters for the trial in England and Wales. A spokesman for the SGSA told the BBC that he's planning the next steps for implementing the 29 commitment from the government to work on the introduction of safe standing. Clubs in the Premier League and Championship are set to be invited to register an interest in taking part in the safe standing trial in the coming months. So what do you reckon about that? Should we have it down at the Den? And if we do have it at the Den, where's it going to be? Where would you put it? Where would you put the safe standing? Now, would you put it on the east up by the away fans? Because basically, those young chaps, they all stand up most of the game anyway, singing their songs and whatnot. If you were to put a safe standing area at the Den, where would it be? Would it be in that area? Would it be South Lower at the end? Where would you put it, and would you want it? Would you want it there? Would you think what's the point? It's basically sitting with extra steps, not steps as in steps, but sitting with an extra rail in front of you, and they're not going to tell you to sit the fuck down. The stewards are not going to come up to you and tell you to sit the fuck down. But I tell you what, if they do put this in, and if they do put this in an area at Millwall or any other club, to be honest with you, and you do like to stand, and you're in an area that isn't this, and you're standing, they will be on your arse so fucking quick. They'll be on it, yeah. Sit the fuck down, sit down, sit down, sit down. If you want to stand, go over there. That's where people stand. That's the standing section. You want to stand? Go and fuck off there. Don't fucking stand here. They'll be all on you for that, and they'll get you thrown out of the ground, all kinds of shit like that. So, would you want this at the Den, or would you not want this at the Den? To be honest, yeah, I think it's a great big fucking waste of time. And you can see here the only clubs who are doing it so far are Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and Man United. So the big clubs, I don't know why the fuck they're doing it, but they are doing it. Anyway, that is it for this long video today. 45 minutes. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. Goodbye.